Well, hello, everybody. And welcome, welcome, welcome. There's so many people in the chat already, and so many of them that did What's for Breakfast Challenge. So this morning I was busy watching all the different videos, and it was amazing. Doug and Shelley, I have decided to try grits. I hadn't because people had such mixed feelings when I taught to them, but I love the way that Shelley made them. So I'm going to buy some grits and I'm going to make some. And Dawn is in here. She did a video and it's breakfast basically for a week, all these different kinds of breakfasts. And so that was really cool. And Bunky had one this morning. She did eggs in the microwave. She had basil, Parmesan cheese. Fabulous. Now, this was interesting, her Lucas Smurf's video, because it was waffles, but they were spectacular waffles. So I hope you guys go through and just look at all of the different videos on what's for breakfast. I think I'll just keep moving them over all day long because I told everybody you could put them up anytime during the day. And so it was fabulous. So many already this morning. Now, there's lots of people in the chat. I'm scrolling back up because I don't want to miss anybody. Bunky is here. Brian from Castle Hives. Anne from Andale Homestead. Lucas Smurf. Let me scroll again. Dawn is here. And Dawn, you have changed the name of your channel. I like it. I like it that it says My Everyday Life in Rural Cyprus. I like that. And Doug from Hinsway Homestead, Doug and Shelley have convinced me to try grits. And I will look for that brand that Doug said, because one of the other reasons why I didn't ever use grits was because when I would see them in the store, it was GMO corn. But they have a type that is not GMO corn. And so I am going to try that. And Tina Ladybug is in this morning. Good morning. And let's see who else has popped in this morning. Rebecca's in here. Touched by yarn. I can understand that. Gwen, hello. Good morning. And Charmaine is in here. Hi, how are you this morning? Now I put all of the is this live? Yes, this is live. I watched your video this morning. Very cool. Very cool. And everybody's saying hello to everybody. And I put together a playlist so I could put all of the videos as I found them. So as long as they put hashtag what's for breakfast, they were easy to find. And so I'll just keep loading those up, and so everybody can see all the different videos in one place too. And that'll send them to your channel for you guys that have done them, and I just appreciate that. Todd is here this morning. Todd Joe is out over in the kitchen. That's where he was last time I saw him. And, Joe is a black belt. And so he has like these nunchucks, and he let somebody borrow them, and the rope just got off a little teeny bit, just a little. And so he's just adjusting those. So he's out doing that. And everybody is saying hi to everybody. So that is so fun. Now, topic this morning. January is the longest month. I have to, I apologize. I'm going to turn my phone. It is making lots of noises. So I'm going to just turn that all off. And for me, January has always been the longest month. So I put a picture of my backyard back in Wyoming. I didn't take it this year because I should have, because we had snowstorms before we came. But I had forgotten in the background where the grill is, I had painted my grill. So this picture has to be about 2 years old because it is not painted. You can get high temperature heat and I just redid it, and so it's all black and shiny and it looks brand new. But oh my gosh, look who is in the house this morning. It is, pressed the wrong button. It is Steph. Steph has been home not feeling well, so I hope you are feeling much better, Steph. And I hope that Buddy is feeling better too. She's looking forward to watching the breakfast videos. Have a great day. We are slowly getting better. Back to your show. Steph, it's great to see you, and I hope that you guys are just really on the mend. Not fun. So everybody say hi to Steph and wish her well, that she and Buddy get better very quickly. So, topic. January is a long month. For me, January has always been a long month. You know, when you're a kid and you have all those vacations at the end of the year, you're off for Thanksgiving, you're off for Christmas, all the way through New Year's, and then it gets January. And it just seems to drag on. Though now kids get off for Martin Luther King Day. But I don't think we did when we were little. And so that is interesting. That, in fact, the kids here in Yuma didn't go back to school until the 10th of January. I think it was the 10th. Because they had like 17 days off or something. It was just crazy, or 20 days off. Craziness. 6 Acres Farm and Rescue is listening and driving, so don't be typing anything on your phone no matter what we talk about. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it when you guys hit the thumbs up, because that helps with the analytics, and so it helps with my channel. So I appreciate that. Tell me in the chat, what is the longest month for you? For me, after the holidays, you just have that release, you know, because you're so busy. You're busy baking. You're busy doing everything. And it's cold. Todd's saying it's cold in Independence, Louisiana. Cold winds blowing. We're supposed to have wind today too, though it is going to be 74 degrees. So I can't really say that it's cold. But back home, it is cold. I think yesterday the high was 14 degrees back home. Today, a little bit warmer. I think it's going to be 34. But the wind's supposed to blow. And when the wind blows in Wyoming, it is cold. So for me, that's probably one of the reasons why January is so long too. Though the cold just settles in. And for January, February, March, we have lots of snow back home. But that first stretch, that first January, by February, March, you're used to it. You know, it snowed, it's got warm, it snowed, it's got warmed. And Doug says, any month with 31 days is long. It is. And I think because it's the first of the year, when you're, you know, when you're young or you still have kids, it's just like they were so excited about having all those days off. And then you have to get into that whole routine again of what you're doing. So it's just interesting. Arkansas Woodcutter, how are you? August for me, January is the last of the cleanup prep work days before overwhelm begins. You know, we don't really have a break anymore, because coming down to Arizona, we come in October, the first part of October, and you know, you just hit the ground running. You want to get all your stuff planted. And in fact, yesterday, the video comes out tomorrow. We're actually pulling out plants and replanting again, because the season is long enough in the wintertime that there's a lot of things I can plant twice. We've been picking tomatoes, so that's been fabulous. But it's going to be a long month, because it's like starting the garden, parts of the garden again, which I love gardening. So I don't want to say that that's bad because it isn't, because we have harvested so many cauliflowers, so many broccolis, lettuce and lettuce and lettuce and lettuce. There's radishes, there's carrots, there's just all kinds of stuff. And peppers are turning red. And in fact, some of the red peppers are turning red. So I'm going to send those to some people when I get a bunch of them, because I'd like to see what Kevin at Lazy Pond Farm thinks about them, and Tim at Ridge Life thinks about hot peppers. So I'm going to send those to them. But it's interesting why people think certain months are long. If I look at every single month, it is always January that I'm going to think is the longest month. And maybe it's because February is so short. I don't know. January is my cold weather season. Radish, lettuce, cilantro, they will bolt by March. Interesting. Now, cilantro is interesting because in Wyoming, it's very hard to grow. It'll get a foot tall and it wants to bolt almost every single year. Here, it's as tall as me. Seriously. In fact, I'm drying some of my cilantro. Well, hello there. My slice of heaven. I have been watching My Slice of Heaven, I think, for 2 years. And just great videos. And Emma at Sunny's Places here. Mennonite Farmhouse. Hello. I am making pineapple dressing actually tomorrow. We are having company, and I love getting recipes from other YouTubers. How you doing, sweetie? I am good. I had a hard week, but I'm rested up now. I feel back to my normal self. And sometimes I talked to my members yesterday, I think the video was, because usually I do my video for my members on Mondays. And in fact, if you see that little S by a channel in the chat, that means they are a member. And so I always appreciate that. See, it just goes, you are talking and then you switch subjects and then it goes. It's just crazy. Oh, anyway, I know what I was talking about. Too many late hours, helping other activities in the village, and I really got too run down. I was just so incredibly tired. So I had to take 2 days off, and I was telling my members that sometimes you got to take care of yourself. As channels, there's a lot of channels over here. And I think you have to be really careful that you don't get so overwhelmed and trying to do so many things for so many people in so many areas and keeping up with your YouTube. Like I'm behind on my comments, so I apologize. Actually, the last 2 months, I have felt like I was behind on my comments all the time. But you just have to breathe. You just have to stop. And maybe that's a benefit of January being such a long month, that I have time that I can stop. It's 31 days. I can stop. I can breathe. So even though it's my longest month, that's how I always feel it's my longest month. Maybe I should rejoice in that. Maybe I'm looking at this wrong. Yeah, maybe I am looking at this wrong. Molly, how are you? Molly. She has a great channel. She is an amazing. She can just do so many things. She can bake a cake and decorate it like nobody's business. It's just amazing. Steph says, how was the high school yearbook you helped with? It wasn't the high school yearbook. It was the village yearbook. So we live in a little village down here. A lot of the places down in Arizona are, well, ours is a village, Magnolia Village. And there's I don't know, 300 houses. And So that every year they do a yearbook. They've always used a old program. It was way too old, way too outdated, and horrible. So I have the idea that we should have a different program. Well, we did use a different program, which I think is going to look fabulous. I'll show you too when it comes back from the printer. But it, one, the older ladies didn't know how to run any kind of program like that. And so basically, even though they helped send me stuff, I had to input all of this stuff. So it was 2, 3, 4 in the morning, every morning, or day after day after day for about 10 days. And I was tired. Oh, Nisi's here, resting and listening. Well, Nisi, good morning. Thank you for all that you do. And Emma says, don't apologize. Just do you and go at your pace. That's what, I have the personality, though, that's very hard, that I'm very much a workaholic. I have always been a workaholic. And I really have to just stop sometimes and just say, what are you doing? And my dad says, you can't volunteer for so many things. Which it's totally true. But when they asked me to be on that yearbook committee, I thought I was going to take photos. I didn't really think that, but the program was so old and they were having so much trouble adding things into it. And it was just like, one day it was just like, no, it's January. We have to do this. We have to change, because the yearbook usually comes out by the end of January. And so that was why there was so much pressure. But it's all set up. And so the next year, it's only a matter of just placing different pictures. A lot of the people, because you get to see all the people in the village, everybody on their street, it says what house they live in and has a photo, unless they don't want the photo. And so next year, it's going to be way easier. Way easier. Greenback girl. Hubby and I are under the weather, but wanted to pop in and say hi. The answer to your question about the puff pastry. She'd watched my video on where I had the blueberries, blackberries, and the puff pastry sitting on top. You can put the puff pastry on the bottom. You can put the filling. You can put puff pastry on the top. It will inflate somewhat, but not like on the top. So it can make it so it's basically a pie. So yes, I was going to do this whole great big long answer for you, but now that you're on here, you just put the layer, put the filling, put the puff pastry on top, and just bake it. Watch it, because you may have to bake it a little bit longer, but you don't want to get it too long that it browns the puff pastry too dark on top. So I hope that answers your question. Were you at girls' school? Who was on all your committees? They were just different ladies that live in the village that are were you that girl at school that was on all the committees? Yes, I was, because I like that. I like, it's a great way to get to know people, being on committees. And for me, the reason why I said yes to be even on that committee was because I didn't know a lot of people in the village. We were here last year for part of the year, but not the whole season. And I wanted to get to know the people that live in our village, because it's, I think, almost like 300 houses. And so that was my thinking. We used Publisher for Microsoft 365. I like Publisher because I can do a lot of things. You can input a lot of pictures very easily. You can use a lot of tables. You can border. You can enhance. You can do a lot of things. And so that's why I did it. I used that program. I did look for a program online for making yearbooks, but for what I saw and what I wanted, Publisher in Microsoft was better. Now you can buy Microsoft 365 and pay, I don't know, $9 a month, and you get Publisher and you get Word and you get Excel and you can get PowerPoint. There's a bunch of different things that you get with it. So I like that. Yes, it was. Go Raiders. That's it. Yeah, back home in, I grew up in Rapid City. There's 2 high schools, Stevens Raiders and Central Cobblers. I went to Stevens, and yes, I was a cheerleader. Are you from where you are now? No, Rapid City, South Dakota is where I grew up. We come down to Yuma because my parents have come down here for like 20, 25 years. And I always told Joe, I'm not living in Yuma, Arizona. And now in the wintertime, I live in Yuma, Arizona. But I do love it. And I love this little village. And though you always have those conflict with some of the ladies once in a while, you see that. But overall, I love it. Emma has, I have a graphic design background. That's why I'm asking. I don't know how much you've used Publisher, if you've used it at all, but it is really a great program. I don't think hard, not a big learning curve. I think it's really pretty easy if you've used any kind of other programs, but it can do a lot of things. You know, I know people have Publisher and they don't hardly do anything with it, but it is great. I knew it. I was not a cheerleader. You could have been a cheerleader, Molly. I could totally see that. Emma says I was a jock. No, I did cheerleading. I did gymnastics. I did debates, a little bit of debate. I took every art class possible because that's what I wanted to do, you know. Okay, back to the longest month. Tell me in the chat, what is your longest month? Or does it make any difference to you? I think some people it doesn't make any difference at all. They all seem the same. And as you go older, I have to say the years go faster. You know, I don't know what the deal is with that. But I remember being young, you know, grade school, and the summers seemed so long. And now the summers seem so fast. Oh, I was a girl who skipped school, but now I could be a cheerleader. Have you seen that movie? It's called Palm, and it's about a retirement village, and they want to have a cheerleading squad. It is just so adorable. Doug says, I did newsletters for a couple of years using Publisher. See, it's a fun program. You can do a lot of things with Publisher. And everybody's asking Emma if she's feeling better. Doug says the winter months that have the shortest hours of daylight. Yeah, that, you know, when you wake up and it's dark and you go to work and then you come home from work and it's dark, that's a tough thing. Jennifer says that she doesn't notice long months. I think that just depends on what you're doing. But like Joe, before he retired, he was worked in the coal mines. And before that, he worked in the gold mines. And didn't matter what shift, day or night shift. His work started at 6 a.m. and he got off at 6, or the opposite way. He went to work at 6 and he got off at 6 a.m. It was dark all the time. So he was either eating, sleeping, or it was dark. And it was tough for him, you know. And you're right. It's dark by 5 o'clock, most places. Now, in Yuma, Arizona, that is not the case. And it must be because we're so far south. I think the earliest it got dark was really dark, probably about 6:15, 6:30. But I think it's just because we're so far south. Sunny's Place, that's Emma. I use Quack Express and InDesign for print design. Oh, so you know about Publisher. Okay, that's interesting. It's the brutal summer heat and humidity that never seems to end in the summer that are long for us. I can understand that. You know, hot, humid, and you just got so much work to do in the summertime. I can totally understand that. He says, I just watched Coal Miner's Daughter last night. I love that job, or that movie. But Joe's job, though the gold mine, he was underground, but the coal mines, for the most part in Wyoming, are above ground. They just make these huge pits. And because the coal's not very deep in Wyoming, and so they can go down, take off 20 or 30 feet of soil, and then it's just these huge coal seams, and they just take it, and then when they're done with the area, it all gets filled back in, and they have to do all the restoration of the land. And so it's this continuous process. But it's hard work, even above ground or below ground, it is hard work. But those coal miners back east that are underground in conditions that I think are horrendous, I feel for them. And in that movie, it showed it. But even still today, it is bad conditions. And I don't know how they get away with it. I don't know. It's just, reclamation. That's what they have to do. And they have to set aside so much money all the time. And in fact, when you buy a coal mine, you have to have a certain amount of money set aside already for reclamation, or you don't get to buy that coal mine because they expect you to fix it. Have a great day and do something with it. Words to live by. I tell you, words to live by. They can still get black lung. They test those miners every single year for that, because even when you're in the big truck, there's lots of dust going all over the place. You're working in the plant, and where the trains are coming in, there's lots of dust. And in certain areas that you work, you have to wear the big respirator things. And it can still happen. And they test them every single year for that. Now, does it happen as much as underground? I don't think so. But it can, it's a bad deal. Nightbot is putting up all my different members. So there's different ones of them that are in here today. Ann and Doug and Brian are in here. I hope I didn't miss. Nisi's in here. She's a member. I'm just scrolling through. I don't want to give the list of people and then I didn't say somebody. But Molly says, oh my, wow, I did not know it still was as dangerous. Coal dust flies. They're moving it because they're loading it in the big trucks that go into the conveyor belt that go down to where they gets loaded. And a lot of it has to get crushed because there's these huge pieces. And then when they're blasting, it's just in the air, In fact, when they blast, they block the roads and they don't let people drive on the roads. And there's this kind of orangey haze. And so you never drive through an orange haze. It's just really weird. Don't hate me, but every time I hear black lung, I can't help but think of Zoolander. I'm terrible. Zoolander is that movie, isn't it? I think I watched part of that. I'm terrible, she says. No. No, you're not terrible. But it's the first month of 2022. I think we need to go forward. We need to leave all the crap behind that we've had for the last couple of years. Be safe, be wise, but really strive for some stuff. We have a long month in January. Make some plans, make some ideas of what you want to do. Make some new connections. If it's where you work, your neighbor, your friends, your family, make some new connections or renew some. And then make sure you check out all the people that are over on the chat. That you will be amazed at all these channels that are in here. just fabulous, fabulous channels. Like Molly, she's making a mountain cake today. Woohoo! Too early to plant. Yeah, I think it just depends on where you are. You know, down here, I just planted more cabbages or cauliflowers, peppers. I'm going to plant some more. Oh, I planted some more tomatoes. I'm going to plant some more carrots because we're here till April, so I have plenty of time. Hello, hello. How are you? Molly says, it is a cake to represent January and winter. And oh, Switzerland theme. Oh, I will check that out. Fun. Molly decorates cakes, not just a little decorating. It's massive decorating. So, Emma says, I've been using my downtime to plan the garden and go through all my seeds, planning on growing lots of food this year. Excellent. Because in the grocery store, have you noticed the rises in prices? Oh my gosh. Even from a week ago, the things I bought, you know, that you have to repeat buy, they're higher. That is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Inflation, I tell you. So plan your garden out. Make sure that you are ordering seeds now, because pretty soon the companies will start being short, you know, out of stock of a lot of different things. Nisi's, I'm starting a baby blanket for our neighbor. That is so awesome. That's a connection. That's getting to know people more and more. What a blessing. I love it when people do that. Today is beans on toast with grilled peppers and onions, spinach salsa, and pineapple fried rice. And I watched your video. It was fabulous. Fabulous, I tell you. So I'm going to let everybody go. It's after 30 minutes. You know, I like my lives to be in about 30 minutes. But check out what's for breakfast. The 4 is a number 4. Since January is a long month, do some planning. Get your garden ready. Order your seeds. Go through your seeds that you already have, so you're not repeating and buying things that you already have. Planning out things. I have about 700 chestnut seedlings stratifying in the fridge. I can't wait till it gets warm enough to get them outside. I have to tell you, the chestnuts that you sent me, they didn't survive our winter. You know, I had them by the hoop house. I had them mulched good, but they just didn't survive our winter. So I apologize that I couldn't get the chestnuts to survive. When I'm not there now in the wintertime, you know, sometimes in the wintertime in Wyoming, it gets really nice. And it's nice to water when it gets that way. But I'm gone and I can't water. And so I guess I cannot do chestnuts. But I hope everybody has a great day. All you guys that are under the weather, I hope you are well soon. I'll do prayers for all of you guys when I get done. And I hope that you have a fabulous, blessed day, a great weekend. Some of our friends from up the street in Wyoming, they are down here for a little while. And so we are having dinner with them. They're coming to the house tomorrow. We're going to barbecue. It'll be so much fun because they're good friends anyway. And then seeing somebody from back home is going to just be fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. But everybody have a great time. On Monday night, on my live, 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, I have Lisa from Yogi Hollow Farm. And she's from back home because she lives in the hills of the Black Hills in South Dakota, and I lived in Rapid City. She actually only lives probably 20 minutes from my mom and dad when they're there in the summertime. So I'm going to go see her. And so I'm totally stoked about that. Oh, there's a few more people popping in. Garden to Table with Heather Lynn. I don't think you have been in, and I am going to write your channel down because that sounds fabulous to me. Garden to Table. Okay, I will check you out. Awesome. Ventures on the Homestead. That is some snow, Sandy. This is my back patio. I was early in the chat. I was trying to figure out how old this picture was 2 years ago, because I painted my grill, and so my grill is black now, and so it had to been 2 winters ago. So that's snow in Wyoming. All the time. No, not all the time. It melts. It gets really a lot of snow, and then it melts, and then we get a lot of snow and it melts. So that's not so bad. Jeannie, hello. How are ya? But the mashed potato pancake idea, fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. But everybody, I am going to let you go because we're 36 minutes. And tomorrow's video, I think you'll find interesting because it has pictures of the garden, but I'm pulling up the broccolis and cauliflowers, and I'm replanting other plants. And then I'm going to show you what I actually do with those plants when I don't have compost pile, and how I'm going to put those back into the soil. So I hope you think that's interesting. And I hope you guys have a fabulous, fabulous weekend. And check out all the videos from all the channels on What's for Breakfast. Bye, everybody.